Well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday. I'm trying to think back what the last thing was that happened, because so much has happened since the last video. If you guys are following on Instagram or Facebook, you know what happened 2 weeks ago. For me, it's a couple days ago. So on Friday, we loaded at Klesnikov, and due to some mix-up with loads and stuff, we went to a different location. We basically went to the home office yard and had to hang out there for a bit to figure out our previous load. Ended up that our chipper had actually loaded us with the wrong load, but that delayed us a bit, forced me to chain up. So we were doing about 35 kilometers an hour, between 30 and 40, 35 kilometers an hour, Highway 6N, something like that. Basically just north of Salmo, headed down to Salmo. And a car decided to be impatient and passed with oncoming traffic. And I pulled onto the shoulder. And in the winter right now it looks like there's a shoulder there, right? The way they've plowed to the right hand side, it looks like there's a shoulder there. Well, that road looked like there's a shoulder there too. Here I'm pretty sure there is one because I see a little black. But it looked like that, so I pulled onto that shoulder and all it was ditch. So into the ditch I went. I was only going 35 kilometers an hour, so it was a slow impact. Right between two telephone poles. So lucked out there. So we hit the ditch. It was a steep ditch. And then as we sat there, I called dispatch. And as I was calling dispatch, the rear trailer started to slowly lay over. Like my father-in-law says, even the trailers get tired and need to sleep sometimes. So it laid itself over on its side. Check out my Instagram and Facebook photos if you haven't seen them. There's photos of me rolled over in the ditch. So we closed the highway for quite a few hours while the tow trucks tried pulling me out. Man, did they have to work hard to pull me out. They were good though. They recovered my whole truck with the load on it, full load, max weight, full load. And I drove away from it with almost zero damage. The only thing damaged on that trailer, the truck has no damage at all. The truck has no damage. The trailer, the fifth wheel is stretched out, so it may be safe to operate, but it also may not be safe to operate. So what I did was I drove that trailer back to Klesnikov, unloaded it today morning. I brought that trailer to the shop, and now we have a new set of trailers that had like 2 feet of snow on. I had to shovel off and then move all our dunnage and move all our straps and move all our tarps and all our bungees and all our corners. There's a lot of stuff to move over. It took us a couple hours. But yeah, they recovered it with a load on there, and there's very, very little damage to the load. We unloaded. They're going to go through the load. I'm sure they're done with that already. When we get to Klesnikov, it'll be ready for us. So just the fifth wheel is stretched. That's the only damage on that. Now, did that happen when I hit the ditch or when the tow trucks are pulling me out? Questionable. I don't know. The tow trucks did damage one of the fenders and rip brake line off. They fixed the brake line on the spot, so the fender and the fifth wheel need to be fixed. Other than that, no damage. So the biggest damage is lost time. This load should be in Manitoba tomorrow morning. And the tow bill, the tow truck bill is probably going to be a couple $1,000s. So that's the biggest damage. And we were going to spend the weekend with family in Manitoba. We're going to have a full 2 days off in Manitoba, and unfortunately, That didn't happen, so now we're going to go pick up our load and then go down to Manitoba. So tomorrow's video should be very flatland. Very, very, very flatland. So yeah, I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of stuff there. It's been such a busy, busy weekend. We spent it in a motel here in Salmo. Watched a little NASCAR, watched a little Olympics. Played some Terraria on the laptop. Went out for some really, really good food. The Salmo Motel Pub, really good food. Highly suggested. I know we'll stop there in the future. We know a really good place for food in Creston now, and a really good place for food in Salmo. What's up? I need a retorque on the truck, need a retorque on the trailer. So we're going to go get our load in Klesnikov, and then we'll loop back this way. That'll have enough kilometers on it to get the retorque done. Just stop by the shop and get a retorque. And then we'll keep the rubber on the roads. Definitely a good idea. And it snowed. The 2 days that we were in that motel, it snowed. And it snowed. Holy smokes, did it snow. And very cold. It's actually pretty warm now. It's only -6, so watch out for cross-country skiers. Yeah, that was a Klesnikov load, and I'm a little confused why he's on this road. Must not be going to their main Klesnikov yard. I know speed limit's 90 here, but with the ski hill, the traffic is so busy, I'd rather just slow down a bit. Oh yeah, that's another thing that happened. Last night when I drove, or I guess yesterday during the day, afternoon, drove from Summit to Klesnikov with that load. It was still slightly shifted to the right hand side, so I doubled every single strap on that load, just precaution, probably didn't need to. And they straightened a lot of the load out, so I felt safe with the load. But as a precaution, I was only doing 50, 60 kilometers an hour. Down the straightaways, I'd go up to 60. And it's an 80 kilometer, 90 kilometer zone, but just after Nelson, we're headed up to Nelson right now. After we had left Nelson, the RCMP officer tucked in behind me, and there is a long distance where there are no pullouts. There's a couple of really small pullouts, but not big enough for me to feel comfortable getting into that pullout and have enough room for people to pass me. So he pulled me over after, I don't know, I'd say about 15 minutes of driving. He pulled me over for impeding traffic, impeding the flow of traffic. But I explained to him why I was going the speed I was going, why the load is shifted the way it is, and I also told him I'm using every pullout that is big enough for my trailer. He goes, I've been following you since. I'm like, I know exactly where you started following me. I know what's behind me. I'm like, there were 2 pullouts and they were both too small for a Super B. Like, these trailers would have been hanging onto the roadway, and I didn't feel safe doing that. So he said he understood, but I couldn't impede traffic. So I promised him I'd pull over at every pullout there was coming up that was big enough for the trailer, basically to continue doing exactly what I was doing. And then he let me go. If he had given me a ticket for that, I would have gone to court for that. I would have fought that one. And he is slowing down. There is a brake check here, coming up pretty soon. Beautiful, beautiful drive here with all this snow and the sun hitting it. Gorgeous. I love my job. And I've got quite a few people asking on Instagram and Facebook how much trouble, how much my boss yelled at me. I work for Sutco. Got to understand, Sutco is super professional. They did a professional investigation. Nobody said anything negative. Nobody yelled. Nobody raised their voice. It was just a normal investigation. What happened? What could we do to prevent it from happening in the future? Super, super professional. Sutco pays well, treats you well, and treats you like family. They definitely earned huge, huge points in my book. If you guys are looking for a change of job and don't like the bosses that you guys are running for, consider Sutco. They're hiring. They're always hiring. So I'm very, very pleased with the way they treat accidents. Oh, came up right here, right now. Here's the the brake check. That came up quicker than I thought. All right, got enough room for the guy behind me. I'm gonna jump out. Take me 2 minutes here if I don't tangle my microphone up. Adjust the caulk bum, and I will walk around outside once I put my real shoes on. I never drive with real shoes. I shall return. Okay. Had to kick all the tires because I left my hammer on our other trailer. Hopefully it's still there when we come back to get a retort done. Tired of buying hammers, yeah. These are brakes. Off we go, nobody coming. 2 logging trucks behind me and then brake check. Pretty small brake check. Okay, down into Nelson we go. Got to be careful with my Jake brakes here. I don't want them on if all of a sudden the surface is too slippery. Last thing we need to do is head for that ditch again. And this ditch looks less friendly than the last one. What a beautiful day. If the wind hadn't picked up, these trees would have even more snow on them. Yesterday the wind picked up pretty seriously. It got really windy. Speed limit's 90 here and I'm empty. I could probably go down a little quicker, but I'll play it on the safe side. I think that's a better idea. Relaxing, beautiful, beautiful scenery, enjoying it. Yeah guys, I love my job. Oh, the city of Nelson welcomes you. Likely with a pipe. What's that?
I was just going to sum it up as a hippie town.
It's definitely a hippie town. Definitely a hippie town. It's a nice little town. I wouldn't like living in it. Not my style, but it is a nice little town to go visit. It says 50 ahead and I don't see a 50 sign, so I'm assuming the 50 sign has been knocked over. Or just further down the road then, I think. Ah, there it is. Around the corner. Yeah, we're not really going to go into Nelson. We're going to turn before we actually hit the town. All these vehicles parked on the side of the road here on the left-hand side, they all hitchhike to the ski hill. Park down here and hitchhike up. Oh, they're fixing the sign. It was flashing empty. There's just blank flashes on it. I came by last time. Oh, now it says compact snow and slippery. Not sure if this gentleman, he kind of pulled in behind us. He might cut in front of us here. Nope. Interesting. this corner, I gotta go right on the outside without hitting that curb. Nobody coming from that way, because if I don't, I'll take out some of those signs. All right. It's a Cisco truck. Bet you that's an MTI truck up front. No, it's actual Cisco truck. Run out of Castlegar. Run by MTI. I don't know how fast he's going to be, but he runs this road every day. I'm assuming he's going to be quicker than me.
Continue on Highway 3A.
Thanks, Garmin. This is actually Highway 6 we're on. I guess it's both here, 3A and 6. I have Garmin going to Manitoba, so it's a little confused as where I'm driving to. Garbage bag on the shoulder. Beautiful river on our right hand side. We've got so many dams down this river. You have all these river/lakes. Letting him pull away a bit because I don't want to be getting a mud bath the whole way. Yeah, if the only thing I forgot was the hammer, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, and this trailer only has one toolbox. That's it. We went from our trailers having 4 toolboxes down to 1 toolbox. And only 1 dunnage rack, so I've got to get all the dunnage and all the corners into 1 rack. Definitely had to consider everything. What do I use all the time and what have I never used? I left a tarp behind. Left a bunch of stakes behind. Some chains behind. Yeah. And this toolbox is stacked to the top, so it's going to be a little less convenient to get at stuff we need. Well, there went the idea of letting him pull ahead. Maybe there's a car in front of him too. Oh, it's okay. It's going at a pretty decent speed. That's a yawn. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of cars in front of him. You guys should be able to see glimpses of the river on the right hand side every now and then. Beautiful dark green. We're going to be crossing over it here in a couple of seconds we'll be crossing over it. we go. Not that you guys can really see anything. Well guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to be following this Cisco truck, so my windows are going to be pretty dirty, so we'll see if we have time for a bonus video later on today. I'm not sure if we'll do it for our Patreon viewers or everyone. I'm kind of making today up as we go. We'll see how many hours we have left in the day once we're actually loaded and tarped, and see if we even make it out of the mountains today. We shall see. Either way, once we have this load on and tarped, it's a complete reset and we're good to go. Back to normal. Back to regular running. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode. If you haven't already done so, check out my Facebook and Instagram for pictures of me rolled over. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.